During President Ruto's tour of the coast region, the president had claimed that there is an influx of evil spirits in his administration. And he made it very clear that the evil spirits, the so-called pepo chafu, ni wale ambao wanapinga serikali yake. They are those guys who criticize the government no matter the policy that the government intends to implement. He made it very clear that kuna wale ambao wanapinga serikali, wanapinga kila kitu, wanapinga ujenzi wa airport, wanapinga everything, wanapinga SHA, wanapinga kila kitu. The so-called evil spirits have refused to let go of this William Ruto administration. The evil spirits are here to stay. Even after the president casted out those demons, many more demons have even resulted. There's a lot of complaints and a lot of noise being made on social media. A lot of complaints are being lodged in social media like never before. The president thought that he had rebuked the demons, but then we now see that the demons are even more powerful than they used to be before the president revoked them. Yani, Ruto amewachokoza, sasa wameamka in full swing. In this video, I want us to discuss precisely three reasons why these evil spirits have refused to leave the government of President William Ruto. Why these evil spirits have refused to leave, to vacate State House. Why these spirits have refused to leave the government of President William Ruto alone, and what it means, what this means for Ruto's 2022 presidential bid. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, I'd like to request a few things from you. Kindly like this video, kindly subscribe to my channel, and please hit the notification bell so that YouTube can recommend this video to as many viewers as possible. Now that you have done that, let's go ahead with our discussion of the day. Number one reason why the evil spirits have refused to vacate State House. Number one reason is that Ruto is micromanaging people in his government. Ruto is micromanaging everybody. Ruto is micromanaging the cabinet secretaries. Ruto is even micromanaging parliament, an independent body whose responsibility should be to represent, to legislate, and to conduct oversight over the executive. So Ruto is not giving these guys the freedom to think so that they can be able to advise him accordingly. Ruto is micromanaging the CS for Health, Dr. Baraza. Ruto is managing every other docket, be it environment, be it mining, whatever, be it cooperatives, be it finance. Ruto is micromanaging these guys to dangerous levels. These guys, the cabinet secretaries, have no freedom of speech, and therefore they cannot advise the president accordingly. These guys are obliged to go by what the president says. If you are a CS and you speak otherwise, chances are that you are going to be removed. And this is precisely the reason why Rigathi Gachagua had to be impeached. Because Rigathi Gachagua will tell William Ruto the truth. Rigathi Gachagua will tell William Ruto that this one, you intend to do it, but it's not good for the country, and therefore we should not go in this direction. That is why William Ruto saw Rigathi Gachagua as a threat. As long as President William Ruto is continuing to micromanage these guys, as long as when you are a CS, you have no freedom to speak, you have no freedom to tell the president the truth, you have no freedom to tell the president that SHA is not working and therefore we should modify this, you have no freedom to tell the president that, okay, in the environment docket, you have proposed such and such a recommendation, but this one is not going to work. If all you can do as a cabinet secretary in Kenya is to say yes, sir, to what President William Ruto has said, then evil spirits are there to stay in President William Ruto's administration. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in this country until William Ruto changes his format of governance, until William Ruto changes his format of administration. You are a CS. The only thing that you have is a good salary and a high-end vehicle, probably fueled by the government. I'm not so sure. But you have no voice of your own. You cannot say anything. It is William Ruto to say, and it is you to implement. So if Ruto is continuing to micromanage his cabinet, pepo chafu bado zitaendelea kukaa ndani ya serikali. Number 2, Ruto is talking too much. A good leader does not have to talk too much. You don't have to talk. You have to do the job. Ruto is, every other time, Ruto is just on TV talking, promising. Ruto is promising air. Ruto is promising even things that do not exist. And this is the second reason why pepo chafu zitaendelea kukaa ndani ya serikali na bado ziko, and the Ruto administration will continue panicking every other day, because there are certain things that I believe are responsibilities of cabinet secretary to speak about. Something like SHA. William Ruto himself is at the forefront of advocating for SHA, this new insurance scheme, health insurance scheme that is not working. Then I ask myself, what is the role of a cabinet secretary for health? It is the role of the cabinet secretary for health to be at the forefront in communicating this idea of SHA to the people. If you, as the president, you are talking more than the CS who should do that job, then essentially you are getting out of bound. Ruto is simply talking so much, and it is because of these empty talks that he finds himself promising things that he cannot even deliver, because he goes to a political rally and then he promises something. He promises to deliver something that would cost millions of shillings. He has not consulted with the cabinet secretary or members of his cabinet who are directly responsible, or rather who are directly attached to that docket. He just goes out to give promises. The cabinet secretaries are not aware. They have not discussed how this policy, or rather how this new promise, can be implemented. So the cabinet finds itself in an awkward place. Let's give an example with the cabinet secretary for energy. The president has promised to install solar panels to every household. For example, you as the cabinet secretary for energy, you are not aware. You have not discussed with your commander-in-chief how this objective is going to be achieved. Sasa rais kazi yake ni kupromise tu. His work is just to promise. He's just promising left, right, and center. And he has not consulted you as the cabinet secretary of that department. How is this going to work? The end result is that these promises are not going to be delivered, and people are going to continue to complain. Complaints will be there no matter what. And it is these complaints that the president is referring to as pepo chafu ya kupinga serikali. Watu wanaendelea kupinga because they have lost confidence in the government. The government is promising and is not delivering. It is because Ruto is not a consultative person. Ruto does not consult with these CSS. He just wakes up one day and stands up in a podium in a political rally in Kwale or in Nyanza and makes promises. And he has not consulted. That is the second reason why evil spirits have refused to leave State House, and they will not vacate. They are there to stay unless William Ruto changes his mode of governance. Number 3, Ruto is touring the country every other day. Mara ako Kisumu, mara ako Kwale, mara ako sijui wapi, mara ako Embu, where he was rejected the other day as we saw. If the president has 100% of the time, 80% of the time should be dedicated to performing executive duties. If the president spends 80% of the time in conducting rallies and touring the country every other time, he has no time to focus on delivering the promises. If the president is a commander-in-chief of traveling, mara hii wiki ako mahali fulani, mara ako sijui wapi, you see, he's trying to imitate the political character of Moi, of just moving around and touring places, but it cannot work at this time and age because he is dealing with an informed population. The population, as we speak, is well equipped. The population is well informed, is well aware of its environment. So the president is dealing with a different kind of generation altogether. So the kind of politics that used to work for President Daniel Arap Moi cannot work for President William Ruto. And if that is what he thinks that will work for him, then he is mistaken. Daniel Arap Moi would just traverse the country and give speeches on top of his Mercedes-Benz, and the people would be very happy that the president is visiting them. But now we're in the age of social media. As the president, we don't have to go here and there. talking to the people. The people expect you to do the job that you've promised to do. That is why you are getting distracted. You are not delivering on the promises that you've made. You can barely do anything. Today you are in Kisumu to open CGU what? Tomorrow you are in Kwale to launch CG Dev CGU whatever. And the next few days you will be somewhere else just walking. Who is he that is remaining at your office to do the job that you're supposed to be doing as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces? Who will do that job? That is the third reason why pepo chafu, evil spirits, will stay with the government of President William Ruto, and they will not leave until the president changes his format of governance. The president does not want to delegate duties. He wants to do everything by himself so that in the end, all glory and honor can be ascribed to him. So this one tells you certain things about the character of our president. The president, I can say that he is politically selfish because he does not want to engage the people. He has trust issues with the members of his government because he thinks that if he gives you time, if he gives you the opportunity to express yourself and to manage that docket to the best of your ability, you are likely to challenge him politically. And this is exactly what happens to Rigathi Gachagua. I have always insisted that Rigathi Gachagua is as truthful as he claims to be, because it has come to my attention that in this government of William Samoei Arap Ruto, it is extremely dangerous to be loud. It is extremely dangerous to speak your mind. If you're working under the leadership of William Samoei Arap Ruto, your job will be in danger the moment you begin to advise the president accordingly. Those who are staying around the president are most likely those guys who are massaging the ego of the president, those guys who does not want to tell William Ruto the truth of the matter on the ground. Now, in conclusion, if William Ruto does not stop the culture of micromanaging his cabinet secretaries and telling them what to do and not allowing them to think for their own, not allowing them to think for themselves and to make good policy decisions, if William Ruto does not stop the culture of talking too much, even when it is unnecessary, if William Ruto does not stop the culture of touring the country unnecessarily, instead of focusing on his executive role as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, if William Ruto does not stop these three bad behaviors that we have discussed, evil spirits of rejection of government policies, the evil spirits of criticizing the government and rejecting every other policy decision that the government proposes will continue to abide by the Kenya Kwanza administration. And the end result in conclusion is that William Ruto is likely to be a one-term president. Only thing that can rescue him is stealing the elections. And at this time and age, even stealing of the elections will be very difficult because the population is more informed, is more alert, is more educated than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, this is just but my humble opinions. Do let me know your thoughts, opinions, and ideas in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more informative content such as this. In the event you're watching for the first time, I humbly welcome you to my channel so that you can have a look at my analysis of recent political, policy, and governance issues in Kenya. Cheers.